What is the English translation of the French word papillon? Tony Ryan.
Butterfly.
You're right. Whose address is 11 Downing Street, London. Eamon?
Prime Minister of England.
No, it's not. Kamloops? It is, in fact, the Chancellor of the Exchequer. What is the only province that currently has the Social Credit Party as the, Eamon,
BC.
as the official opposition? Kamloops. Answer, Tony.
Ontario.
No, it's Alberta. In which city is Canada's oldest television station? Tony.
Hamilton.
No, it's not. Cowichan, Ian Wood?
Ottawa.
It is Montreal. The score is Kamloops 10, Cowichan 0. In tonight's championship playoff game on Reach for the Top.
Reach for the Top is brought to you by the province of British Columbia. Here with the BC Finals is your host and quizmaster, Harry Garner.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. This is what we've been pointing toward all year. We have finished 4 zones. We have 4 zone winners. So tonight we begin the 1981 playoffs. We have 4 undefeated teams. St. George's and West Vancouver will be along next week. Tonight we have Kamloops and Cowichan, and once again, these competing students for Kamloops, Tony Ryan, James Ward, Steve Reese, and Claudia Priest. There is the Kamloops team. Here's Cowichan, Eamon Gaunt, Bill Tucker, Ian Wood, and Greg Radigan. Students, I have a 50-point open question here, and from the options given, for 10 points each, I'd like you to tell me which is the greatest number. Listen carefully. Here's the first group. 9 dozen, 5 score, 1 gross. Tony.
1 gross.
That's right. It amounts to 12 dozen. How about this group? 7 quarters, 17 dimes, 27 nickels. Tony.
17 dimes.
No. Cowichan. Ian.
The quarters.
It is 7 quarters. How about 1 nautical mile, 2 kilometers, 8 furlongs? Tony.
8 furlongs.
No, it isn't. Cowichan, Bill Tucker?
2 kilometers.
It is. 30 degrees Celsius, 98 degrees Fahrenheit, 300 Kelvin. Which is hottest, Tony?
98 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yes, sir. 2 fortnights, the number of days in February in a leap year, the number of days it takes the moon to revolve around the Earth. Ian?
The orbit of the moon.
No. Kamloops, Tony?
2 fortnights.
No, it's the number of days in February in a leap year. Did you enjoy those? So-so, right? Here's a 35. Make it a 25-point regular question with this scramble. What famous American monument is situated on what was formerly called, Ian?
Statue of Liberty.
That's right, and formerly called Bedloe's Island. You took a chance. It worked out. These questions are for Cowichan. What is the proper name of the Statue of Liberty? Do you know? Well, it's called Liberty Enlightening the World. Which nation gave the statue to the United States?
France.
Yes, sir. 30-point open question now on literary works based on real people and events. The title character in Maxwell Anderson's play, Anne of a Thousand Days, is based on what historical figure? Tony Ryan.
Anne Boleyn.
Right. The hero of Ayn Rand's novel, The Fountainhead, is modeled on what major 20th century architect? Tony?
Frank Lloyd Wright.
Good for you. What novel by Sir Walter Scott is based on a real-life Scottish outlaw named Claudia?
Oh, no, it's not.
Named Robert McGregor, Cowichan. The character in the novel, Bill, is Rob Roy. The score is Kamloops 50, Cowichan 35. Here's a 25-point regular question with this scramble. What was the common cause of Susan Anthony, Emmeline Pankhurst, Tony Ryan?
Women's suffrage.
Okay, Kamloops, try these. Questions about the history of votes for women. Name the country which in 1893 was the first to give women the vote.
Australia.
It was New Zealand. What modern, industrialized, and wealthy European country did not grant women the vote until
Switzerland.
1971? Answer?
Switzerland.
It was. I have some pop music for you now. A question on the Grammy Awards. Open, worth a total of 40 points. And let's begin with this one. Music, here's the question. This song was awarded to Eamon.
Sailing.
Question for Kamloops. It was awarded the Grammy for Song of the Year. Could we have some more music? Name its singer-composer, Tony. Okay, you might want to wait for the questions. Thank you, sir. Here's the next one. This song won Bette Midler. Here's the music. A Grammy. Greg? For which category did she win it, Kamloops? Tony?
Best movie soundtrack?
No, best pop female vocal performance. It was, of course, The Rose. Here's another one. Music? Question? This song won a Grammy in the best country song category. Tony Ryan.
One Trick Pony?
Name its singer, Cowichan. Ian?
Paul Simon?
No, Willie Nelson. Finally, listen to this question. It's still rock and roll to me. Won Billy Joel the Grammy for best rock. Tony?
Glass Hoses.
That's eerie, because that is the answer. We never got around to the question. Name the album from which it is taken. That scores for Kamloops, and obviously you've both got hot hands tonight, sometimes. 25-point regular question now. Here's the scramble. What planet travels around the sun once about every 248 years and is approximately, Steve Reese?
Jupiter.
No. 5-point penalty for Kamloops. Here's the question again for Cowichan. What planet travels around the sun once about every 248 years and is approximately 39 times as far from the sun as Earth? Now, Bill Tucker.
Pluto.
It is Pluto. Cowichan, name the American astronomer who in 1905 found the force of gravity of some unknown planet seemed to be affecting the orbits of Neptune and Uranus. He died before this unknown planet was located. His name was Lowell, Percival Lowell. The observatory bearing his name, the Lowell Observatory, was the site in which Pluto's image was first discovered in 1930. In what U.S. state would one find the Lowell Observatory?
California?
No, it's Arizona. Here's a 40-point open question on some conclusions to Shakespeare's plays. Try these. Use your buzzers and your bells. What does Lord Montague, Romeo's father, vow to do when he hears of the death of the young lovers? Anybody? Ian?
End the feud?
No. Steve?
Have revenge on the Capulet?
Erect a golden statue to Juliet. How about this one? When Hamlet dies at the end of the play, who is it that arrives to claim the Danish throne to restore order to the kingdom? It is Fortinbras. In Julius Caesar, where is the final battle that results in the victory of Mark Antony? Where, Ian?
Actium?
No. Kamloops, Philippi. What Shakespeare character at the end of the play commits suicide after asking to be remembered as one who loved not wisely, but too well? The character? Tony.
Shylock?
No. Bill?
King Lear?
It was Othello, and so much for Shakespeare. The score is Kamloops 80, Cowichan 40. Here is a 35-point regular question with this scramble. The Western, the Eastern, and the Continental are three types of grip in what sport? Ian?
Arm wrestling?
No. Good guess. Tony?
Wrestling.
No, it is tennis. I like arm wrestling. That's a good answer. No points, though. Watch your monitors. Here is a question on architecture, a total of 30 points. For 10 points each, name the architect who designed these structures. Here is the first one, the French founder of a modern style called Brutalism. Do you know his name? It is Le Corbusier. Let's try this. Socialite architect of Victoria, Tony Ryan?
Christopher Wren?
No, who was later murdered in England. There is a book recently out about him, and he is Francis Rattenbury. Here's the next. The architect claims credit for much of the Regency architecture of England. These are tough. His name is John Nash, and that's the end of the question. 35-point regular here. Here's the scramble. In what country is the famous resort area called the Costa Brava? Tony.
Spain?
Good. Kamloops. If you were holidaying in these areas, in what European countries would you be? The Crimea would be?
Russia?
The Trossachs. Is Scotland. The Dalmatian coast. What country?
Ireland.
No, that's Yugoslavia. All right, that brings us to our special event for semifinal play. It is do-it-yourself time tonight. And this is where we enjoy the questions the students have invented. 10 points for each correct answer, and we begin with Tony Ryan of the Kamloops team.
The only Canadian aircraft carrier was called the HMCS Bonaventure. What was it carrying on its final voyage from Halifax to Montreal?
Interesting question. Could you hear it, Cowichan? Bill Tucker?
The Golden Hawks?
Tony?
No, it was carrying a flight deck of cars.
How ironic. From where?
Halifax. I don't know the company.
Eamon Gaunt now. What have you got?
Okay, what country would you associate the historical event known as Reconstruction?
Did you hear that? Steve.
Austria.
The
Eamon.
United States after the Civil War.
Here's James Ward of Kamloops. Now,
What is the origin of the name of the month June?
the origin of June, Bill Tucker.
The Roman god Jupiter.
No, that would be Juvenus, Latin for youth, because of the climate of such the month.
But you did get a question, Bill. It's your turn.
What was Zond 3?
Zond 3. Tony?
A computer.
Bill?
No, a Russian space probe.
Steve Reese, let's hear your question.
What is the tallest mountain in British Columbia?
It's fairly straightforward anyway. Bill Tucker.
Robinson?
Steve Reese.
No, that's in Alberta. The tallest mountain in BC is Fairweather.
Ian Wood is next.
What was the fastest aircraft ever to fly?
Tony Ryan.
SR-71.
The
Ian Wood.
X-15 research craft.
Claudia Priest.
What hockey immortal once scored a goal in an NHL game while skating backwards?
Ian Wood.
Bouchard.
Claudia.
Cyclone Taylor.
Greg Radigan. He has the last of the do-it-yourselfers.
What does the term sonar stand for?
Tony Ryan.
Sound navigation and ranging.
That's scores for Kamloops. We finally broke the ice on the do-it-yourself questions. The score is now Kamloops 105, Cowichan 40, and you've earned a recess. We will be back with more in tonight's playoff following this message from our sponsor.
More than 50 cents out of every dollar in our pockets comes from an area like this. Putting something back for the future. That's good forest management.
If you're an employer, you should know about BC's new Employment Standards Act. It means better protection of employees' rights. For instance, hours of work and overtime, wages, layoffs. Employees are entitled to maternity leave, and there are special provisions for farm and domestic work. The new Employment Standards Act, it makes BC a better place to work.
For complete information, contact your nearest Provincial Ministry of Labor office.
Here's the score as we get ready for the second half of tonight's playoff. We have Kamloops with 105, Cowichan with 40, and of course I have some short snappers to get you going again. What French Impressionist painter specialized in racetrack scenes and ballet dancers? Answer, Greg?
Degas.
What American president spoke the line, with malice toward none, with charity for all? Tony?
Roosevelt.
No, Cowichan. Give me a president. Eamon.
Woodrow Wilson.
It was Abraham Lincoln. What British statesman wrote, of all the crosses I have to bear, the cross of Lorraine was the heaviest? Tony Ryan?
Chamberlain.
No, Cowichan. Bill?
Churchill?
Good guess. What theatrical personality is said to have glorified the American girl? He was a producer. Bill Tucker?
Gibson?
No. Kamloops? It was Tony.
Laurent?
Florence Ziegfeld. What educational process is affected by a neurological condition called dyslexia? Ian Wood?
Reading. The ability to
Okay,
comprehend.
35-point regular question now with the scramble. What is BC's smallest marine mammal? Bill Tucker?
The harbor seal?
No. Kamloops. Claudia?
The otter.
It was?
The otter.
Right, the sea otter. Kamloops, these questions about the sea otter. What provides most of the sea otter's diet?
Mussels and things like that. Mussels, shellfish.
Okay. How does the sea otter mother carry her young?
Strapped on her back.
No, it's on her chest. Sea otters swim on their backs. The sea otter is one of the few animals besides man that uses tools. Kamloops, what tool does the sea otter
It
use?
picks up a rock and it breaks shells open with
That's
it.
right. 30-point open question now on physics. In each of these questions, you'll be given a letter that has a special significance in physics. Wait for the question, Bill. Tell me what the letter represents in a non-numerical way. The questions will now begin. What is the significance of small l? Tony?
The length of an object.
No. Cowichan, small l in physics. Bill?
Light?
It is the speed of light. What does small g represent? Ian Wood?
Gravity.
And how about large, Jim?
Sorry.
Large G, Cowichan. Large G is the gravitational constant. Regular question, worth 25 points. Here is the scramble. Who is the patron saint of lost causes? Tony Ryan.
St. Anthony.
No, it's not. Cowichan. It is, Ian?
St. Paul.
St. Jude. The score is Kamloops 130. Cowichan closer now with 90 points. And I have some spellers for you. One word for each of our students, 10 points for each one correctly spelled. And these are all food words. Tony, yours is sherbet.
S-H-E-R-B-E-T.
That's right. Eamon Gaunt? A little tougher, maybe. Sauerkraut.
S-O-U-R-K-R.
I'm going to stop you there, Eamon. It's S-A-U-E-R-K-R-A-U-T. Tough. Jim Ward? Souffle.
S-O-U-F-F-L-E.
With the accent, but we won't worry about that. Porridge for Bill Tucker.
P-O-R-A-G-E.
Oh, no. P-O-R-R-I-D-G-E. Steve Reese? Yours is quiche. French word.
Q-U-I-C-H-E.
Avocado for Ian Wood.
A-V-O-C-A-D-O.
Liqueur for Claudia Priest. Liqueur, that is.
Yeah, L-I-Q-U-E-R.
No, L-I-Q-U-E-U-R. It's tough. Greg Radigan? Parfait.
P-A-R-F-A-I-T.
That's right. 35-point regular question now with this scramble. What Canadian city was once called Pile of Bones? Tony Ryan.
Moose Jaw.
No, Cowichan. It was, Ian? Regina. Let's have some classical music. I have a total of 30 points on this one. Composers have often deliberately reflected nationalist feelings in their music. Listen to these selections and tell me what country or region is represented in each. Here is the first musical selection. The composer, Jan Sibelius. The country, Tony.
Germany.
No. Ian.
Austria.
Finland. That was the opening measures from his Finlandia. Here is the next. I've got a clue coming up, Steve, so hang on a minute. The composer's name, Friedrich Smetana. Claudia?
It's written about the Moldau River.
And the country?
It goes through a lot of countries. Prague, it goes
The
through
composer.
Romania and...
What country for the composer, for Smetana?
Czechoslovakia?
That's right. That scores you the points, and you got there the hard way. Here is the last one. Popular song in this case. I want the country. Claudia.
England?
No, it isn't. Bill.
France?
No, it's the country is Canada, and the singer and composer Gilles Vigneault, Montpaille. Score is Kamloops 170, Cowichan 110. Here's a 35-point regular. Try this scramble. What people gather at a synod? S-Y-N-O-D, synod. We have 5 minutes to go. Any guesses? Tony?
Politicians.
No. Cowichan? Bill?
Druids?
Clergymen. I guess that might include Druids, but not normally nowadays. Here's a question on art. We have a 40-point total on this one. It's open for 10 points each. And watch your monitors. Identify the artists who painted the following ladies. Here is the first one. It is called A Lady with a Pearl Necklace. Artist, Greg.
Vermeer?
Right. How about this one now? A portrait of the Duchess of Devonshire. Claudia.
Gainsborough?
No. Again for Cowichan. Bill.
Holbein?
No, it was Reynolds, Sir Joshua Reynolds. Here is a portrait by an Italian, very characteristic of his style. Bill?
El Greco?
No. For Kamloops, there it is again. I'm looking for Amadeo Modigliani. And finally, one by a 19th century French painter, and there it is, Claudia.
That's Rodin? No, Monet.
Which one?
Monet.
No, Cowichan. It is Manet, not Monet. We have 4 minutes to go. There's a 35-point regular question with a scramble. Empty hand, or empty hands, is the literal translation of what sport from the Far East? Answer is karate. Interesting question. Here's a 30-point open affair, a question about words. The suffix L-O-G-Y, as in logy or logy, means loosely the study of. I'll give you the word with the suffix. You tell me what it means using your buzzers and your bells. How about dermatology? Tony.
The study of skin and skin diseases.
All right. Pathology is next. Steve.
Study of the dead.
No. Pathology, Cowichan. Ian?
Physical diseases?
That's right. And finally, pseudology. Any takers? Tony.
Study of symbolism.
No. Pseudology, Bill Tucker.
Psychology?
It is the study of the art of lying. Here's a 40-point open question. I'll name a city's tallest inhabited building. You name the city. Ready? Transamerica Pyramid. City. Ian.
San Francisco.
Right. We have 3 minutes to go. Sears Tower. Tony.
That would be New York.
No, it wouldn't. Cowichan. Eamon.
Chicago.
It is Chicago. How about John Hancock Tower? Tony.
Boston.
Right. And World Trade Center, Tony?
New York City.
It is New York. You can split the points on that one. What have we here? Another open question worth a total of 40 points. The following ladies are famous or, wait a minute, are famous or infamous heroines of literature. Identify the authors who created them. First lady, Nana. Author was, Tony?
Tolstoy?
No. Cowichan? Zola. Emile Zola. How about Emma Bovary? Jim Ward.
Flaubert?
Flaubert is right. Lara is next. Author, Lara was the heroine. It was Boris Pasternak. Lolita, author, Jim?
Nabokov.
Right, or Nabokov. Have we got time for this one? It's open. On famous bays, identify these for 10 points each. The port of Madras is situated on what bay of the Indian Ocean? Anybody? Jim? Tony? Jim's light is still on. I
Bay
can
of
see Tony
Bengal.
jumping. Bay of Bengal is correct. We have 2 minutes to go. What bay is named for the Basque people who live on Bill Tucker?
Bay of Biscay?
Right. The Albany, Abitibi, Rupert, and Fort George rivers. Tony?
Chesapeake?
No, empty into what bay? Cowichan? Ian?
Fundy?
Hudson Bay. Did you say Hudson Bay? Okay, then you don't get points because Hudson is the answer. What Australian bay was named by Captain Cook for the interesting plant life along its shores? Bill?
Botany Bay?
Good for you. Let's go to our short snappers. We don't have too much time left. And see how far we get with these. What is the name given to an ornamental dyed fabric initially treated with paraffin? Steve?
Batik.
Good. Complete the line. Katie, beautiful Katie. Do you know? You're the only girl that I adore. Who wrote The Happy Prince? Author? Oscar Wilde. In an election, who are the constituents? Tony Ryan.
The people that are allowed to vote and are
You're
represented
right.
by
They're the
certain
voters.
person.
What is a chiffonier? Do you know? It's a chest of drawers. Who is the author of the novel Islands in the Stream? Author Greg.
Hemingway.
In what game might you use the Nimzovich defense? Steve?
Chess.
In what profession was Felix Frankfurter prominent? Tony Ryan.
Food industry.
No. Cowichan. It was the law, U.S. Supreme Court. By what name was music critic Corno di Bassetto better known? It was George Bernard Shaw. In a boat race, what is the name of the oarsman who sets the pace? Bill?
Coxman?
No. Kamloops, Tony.
Coxswain.
No, the oarsman would be the stroke. What type of currency is specie? Coins. Name the spot in London's Hyde Park, which is famous for unscheduled oratory. Steve Reese.
The soapbox.
No, it's not. Cowichan, it is called Speaker's Corner. According to the old radio series, Who Knows What Evil Lurks?
The
Tony?
shadow.
That's right, lurks in the hearts of men. The fictional town of Manawaca was the creation of what Canadian writer? Anybody? Greg?
Mort.
It was?
Farley Mort.
No, Margaret Lawrence. There's the bell. That means as far as we go, the score unofficially, Kamloops 260, Cowichan 190. And right here, we'll check the figures to return with the official result right after this.
Take the finest fruit of the sun, an amber ribbon of honey, thick country yogurt, and you've got a treat for purists. Delicious fruit and golden honey. New Country Pure Yogurt from Safeway.
Everything you want from the store and a little bit more.
Meet Horace Smeal, a man with a problem. Last month, his brakes started squeaking. You didn't have them checked, did you, Horace? You should have gone to Tops and Stops for a free brake inspection. A free brake inspection, Horace, at no cost or obligation. Oh, well, Some problems solve themselves.
Welcome, Horace.
Now, what's stopping you?
There is no change in the score. So it's official. Kamloops 260, Cowichan 190. The winner of tonight's first playoff game, Kamloops. And here they are once again. Tony Ryan, Jim Ward, Steve Reese, and Claudia Priest, the Kamloops team. Cowichan is too bad. Kamloops got off to an early lead and somehow just hung on to it through until that final bell. Here is the Cowichan team of Eamon Gaunt, Bill Tucker, Ian Wood, and Greg Radigan. Congratulations. Here is what we know for sure, that Kamloops has moved into the BC final against, well, one of next week's teams. It's going to be St. George's versus West Vancouver, and I hope we see you then on Reach for the Top.
Race for the Top was brought to you by... This is CBC.